Good afternoon and welcome to this Wellington Business Expo live stream. So we thought we'd wrap the week up actually with just a quick live stream and talk about what we've done so far this week and some of the experiences we've had. So it's my real pleasure to introduce you to Rhino from Nettl. Nice to see you, Rhino.
Hi there. Nice to be here.
Yeah, great. So Rhino is the person we called when, as a chamber, we decided we were going to take the Wellington Business Expo online this year. And we phoned Rhino and said, Rhino, would you come and give us a hand? And he didn't hesitate to come on board and sponsor our event and support all our work and help us develop the platform and the whole online experience. So I just want to take this opportunity, Rhino, to thank you so much for believing in what we were trying to create and for getting on board and investing so much time and energy into it.
Oh no, thank you so much, Helen. It was an absolute pleasure. It was quite a big challenge because it's not something we do often, and especially before COVID and everything. You know, everything happening online, and you know how does a physical event happen online, and how do you actually get people to interact? And that's a challenge of its own. But it's been absolutely fantastic. It's just it was really great being part of the opportunity, and yeah, we'd just like to thank you very much as well for that.
Yeah.
It's been a great ride, and we've learned heaps, and yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that we've learnt heaps. Actually, we have. I think every hour we've learnt something. But actually, it's been fabulous to take so many business people on this ride as well. You know, we've been doing a lot of live streams, and nearly everybody doesn't want to do a live stream. Nearly everybody's quite nervous about it, and yet unanimously by the end of it, they're really pleased that they stepped up and they did that, and it was fun, and it's proven to be a really useful way to communicate messages very clearly.
Yeah, oh, definitely. If you look at, I think over the last few months, people have actually become quite confident in going online, or even doing a lot online sort of a catch up with the clients. We've all been sort of forced to learn and adapt, and it's been really good. I think at first it's sort of getting used to it. And after initially doing it a few times and meeting with a few people online, which is quite weird the first few times, it becomes normal. You can actually interact properly as you would in person, and it's just I think it's taken us a few months just to get used to it, but it's been really great. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I sat down at a function last week actually, and someone turned to me and said, "Oh, I haven't seen you without your headset on for the whole of this year." So, you know, it's a long way that we've come, really, isn't it? So, you know, as we've let everyone know, there's two sides to Expo. So there's the online aspect of it and the in-person event. And the whole model around Expo was to create it so that it could run in any level of lockdown. And we've just been really fortunate to be in level 1 to be able to deliver the whole experience all in the same time period. So, but while Hannah and I and the team have been really busy with physical events this week, you know, and they've all been fabulous. Rhino, you've spent a bit more time on the online side of Expo, and so has Raywin, hasn't she? So
yeah. Yeah, that's actually it was a bit of a process that sort of evolved as the whole site came along and sort of came together. You know, it took quite a bit of teamwork between yourself and Nettl as well, just to get it all running and working smoothly. But once all the online sort of business listings, the online stands actually gone up, it was very interesting going through the content that various businesses actually put up. There's a few promo competitions and a couple of really great messages on some of the business platforms as well. So I've gone through, I think, most of them. And the great thing about that is also, I mentioned to Raymond earlier, being because we're used to the Wellington Business Expo as a physical event. And, you know, it gets rid of all the sort of barriers where, you know, it's easy to approach people at a Wellington Business Expo, because the main thing we're there for is doing business together. And it's that same sort of feeling that I still got, even though it's online. And there is a bit of a barrier, you know, you leave your virtual business card, your contact details. But, you know, it's going through those pages and actually seeing different opportunities where we and other businesses can work along. And I'm sure it's very much like that with a lot of other businesses as well. Even if businesses don't have like an online sort of profile on the Wellington Business Expo, it's still you still have those barriers completely broken down. You can literally just message them and say, hey, you know, you guys, I love what you do. We can actually work together, or I need something in the field that you actually are capable of doing. So just as an example, I messaged a whole lot of the businesses actually on the platform as well. Just, you know, as Rhino from Nettl, just saying hi and looking into some opportunities that we can actually work together. So in our line of business, it's can be quite technical. There's a lot of design work that goes into it, but sometimes there's other services that we still need. For instance, videographers, copywriters, those sort of things, and we can really benefit from working with each other, and not even just working collaboratively, but also looking at the different business listings that we can actually use in our company. We need to employ those business coaches or financial managers, or we definitely do need those services, and it's so good just being able to get in touch and have that relationship. Yeah, it's really awesome, and I've had a lot of good feedback as well. I actually have a whole lot of meetings set up for next week. It's just having a nice catch up, and because it's a lot of them are businesses that I haven't heard from before or I haven't seen before, and some of them I have been in touch, but just sort of narrowly. But it's just it's another point of contact, which is
right.
good.
Yeah, that's pretty cool actually, Ryan, because it sounds like you've used there's 70 to 80 online stands live on the site, and it sounds like you've used it like a local market to say, well, this is my business, and these are the sorts of, it certainly has broken down barriers, because they're saying to you basically on each stand, get in touch with us, aren't they?
Yeah, and it's almost, if you think of it, it's a bit weird if I go on a random company's website and say, hey, I'm Rhino from Nettl. It's a bit weird. And it immediately feels like I'm trying to sell them something, or they're being sold to, which is never really the case. It's just it's having that introduction, and on the Wellington Business Expo that's online on that platform, it's very comfortable to just reach out and say hi, introduce yourself. So yes, that's a big part of it, and also just on the technical scope of things. When you think of having a website, or what's the reason behind why we do social media, for instance? It's having that online footprint, and every business that has an extra page on there now for the next year, how long we have it on there, they have an extra place where businesses can contact them, places that they can be found. The way that Google rankings work as well is a lot of it depends on how many other reliable sites refer people to your site, how many connections are there, and overall having a very established site like the Wellington Business Expo, there's a lot of content on there, but having that site linked to the specific business as well is really good for that company's online profile. And overall, just looking at it down the line as well, it will carry on having that same momentum, and the longer it's up there, the better the chance that people will actually get in touch as well, just out of a sort of natural, organic point of view.
Yeah, certainly very good for SEO rankings, like for Google rankings, and for businesses who may be new to will be putting up a new website. And with COVID, certainly a whole lot of people put up new web content and new websites, haven't they?
Oh yeah. No, it's been a very interesting couple of months. All of a sudden, with doors shutting, a lot of businesses not being able to do business in the same way that they were the day before. It frightened a lot of people, and it's been a rough sort of couple of months where a lot of businesses don't know exactly how to do their business online, because it's not something they've given much thought of. So it's really been interesting in trying to assist a whole different array of different businesses, and just trying to get them on board, even just setting up a bit of a plan. And sometimes it doesn't have to be that complicated. It could just be, a couple of simple instructions that you communicate with your clients and customers. So it's all around the scope. So it's just trying to simplify it and at the same time make a business work, as efficiently as possible.
Yeah, I do think that one of the things that has worked with the online stands is that we did keep a very simple template to start with, didn't we?
Yeah.
And there were all sorts of other things you could do with a virtual or online expo, but I think that it's having really simple messaging, and I mean, all you're trying to do is just get businesses in front of customers and suppliers, really, and make connections, and that's all we're trying to do. We're just trying to bring this business community together more, support each other, buy local, love local, trust each other, because together that's really important for what's ahead of us. So I think that simplicity that, when you designed those first stands, Rhino, I think that simplicity that you've given the websites, it's been really effective.
Oh, thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, we definitely, there's a whole lot of different ways to do something, and there's always a better way, and there's always a more complicated, more advanced way, and but with those, you increase the risk of something going wrong, and it's especially being the first online expo together with Wellington Business Expo. It's definitely it's more important to communicate the right message, having things work, having people get in touch, and use that as a baseline. You can always expand on that, and always, because out of this experience as well, there's a whole lot of other ideas that sort of come to light. How we can do things better, how we can even have certain things more customizable. So yeah, right at the beginning, it's just having things work as smoothly as possible. Not too much content, just the right amount. How do we place the visuals and make it all around interesting enough for people to go around and look at the different sort of online profiles.
Yeah, I think that the connections are very useful, and it's also interesting when we've had 4 in-person events this week. 4. So we had our economist breakfast on Monday, and I think we had about 85 people in the room, and it was a really buzzy breakfast. It was excellent. And then on Tuesday we had over 100 people at our Education to Employment showcase, and that is and speed meet. And so the showcase and the profiling of the employers is online on the Expo, Wellington Business Expo site. And then we had a physical event at the Open Polytechnic, bringing students and employers together, and that was just so thrilling. And today we're hearing great stories of young people getting work placements and securing interviews, and people are talking about new apprenticeships they're going to create because they've met some young people, and we're to be able to support that online as well with content about who was there and provide the contact details. It's a really good blend. And then we've also had our manufacturers forum. We had 100 people at that on Wednesday, and still getting great feedback on that. It was a fabulous event too, at the Silver Stream Retreat in conjunction with Wellington NZ, and Grant Robertson attended and took a lot of notes, which was fabulous. And then last night we had a health and wellness event, and it's great to see people have been online. They've looked at the different stands for the different businesses. They've come to events. Some people we haven't seen for a long time have come to 3 or 4 events. We've been running live streams nearly twice a day, and they're getting great numbers, hundreds of views. And I tune up somewhere, went somewhere for a 8:30 meeting, a 9 o'clock meeting the other day. Did the live stream at 8 o'clock. Went to a different meeting at 9 o'clock, and I walked in and someone said to me, "That was a fabulous live stream with JD Rigging this morning about all the cranes and rigging opportunities they've got for people as jobs." And so you can see that people are interacting with the Wellington Business Expo online and in person. And so it's really encouraging and exciting to see that. And I think we've all learnt a lot of stuff, and we'll learn more next week. We've got another big program again next week. So, I think we're all learning, aren't we?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I think just sort of trying to bring the physical events together with the online is absolutely brilliant. And it's especially just the amount of knowledge and expertise shared all in one place. It doesn't happen that easily, and it's amazing to see that.
Yeah, I think COVID teaches you to have to share that stuff over different periods of time. So normally an expo is 1 day, and we've had to put this over 2 weeks. But the reason for that is because you can only have groups of people in level 2 and level 3 if we were to be at that stage this week or next. You can only have so few people in a room or in a space at any one time, so you've got to spread them out over time. And that was one way of getting around and working within the limitations of what could have been a different level of lockdown. Because, of course, when you organise an event like this, you don't know what level of lockdown you're actually going to be in when you actually go live. So,
yes, quite a lot of risk involved as well, and it's sort of managing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's actually really quite complex. But, yeah, well, I'm delighted that that Rhino, you've had a really good experience using your own website. I mean, you've had a long time to think about it, but it's just, I was so excited when you spoke to Raywin this morning and said, wow, I've been on the stands, and even though you helped build them and make the platform and all the rest of it, that you were able to generate business from it and find leads and reach out to people and, find yourself some new suppliers potentially.
Yeah. The amazing thing is actually, because I've noticed the last week or so, it's the amount of inquiries has improved, but also it's driving traffic to our website, and then that traffic actually gets in touch. It's being referred from a very reputable site to another site, and it's really good for a bit of credibility, and I've just seen a lot of people get in touch, and that's been awesome.
Yeah. Well, it's all about opening doors. That's actually what the Chamber is about. The Chamber is about opening doors, connecting people up, and doing as much as we can to make a really productive and effective and vibrant business community, and that's what we need to do. And this is just an example of trying to connect people and bring people together and strengthen our whole business community. We're all going to need it, and we're going to need to stick together. And it's just what our role is. So it's very excited by it, although we're all reasonably exhausted as well. So looking forward to the weekend. So Yeah. So in closing, I'd just like to say thank you again, Rhino, for getting on board so early and being so willing and enthusiastic in your support. We got 9 sponsors for the Wellington Business Expo in 2020, and I think everyone I asked said yes. I don't think we had one person turn us down, and that's really encouraging given the uncertainty that we're in and the environment and the economy that we are heading for. So, so thank you again, Rhino, for all that you have done to encourage and support and make this come to life. We've still got another whole week of Expo. So next week we have 3 excellent business safaris. On Monday, we're doing the Lower Hutt Business Safari and visiting engineering businesses around Lower Hutt, Stansborough, Maria Engineering, both really well-known engineering businesses, and Precise Traffic Solutions, and that's safari sponsored by Love to Grow. On Tuesday, we're going into the city, into Wellington Business Safari, sponsored by Rico, and we're going to spend some time playing with some recording equipment and that at NZME Studios, pop into the Whariwaka and see their fabulous site on the waterfront, and then finish up at Rico Rico Innovation Centre. They've got some amazing technology. And then on Wednesday, we're in Upper Hutt doing a business safari. We'll get on the bus and head up the line to Upper Hutt, which is my hometown, and courtesy of Gillies Group, we're going through the fabulous NZ Campus of Innovation and Sport, the old CIT. What an amazing site that is to see. Across to the Wallaceville Housing Estate, which is a major development with hundreds of tradies on site just building new homes hand over fist. And then to the Lane Street Studios, which is also very exciting, a $40 million development in Upper Hutt into film, and then end up at Brewtown, where, of course, it's always a good day when you end up at Brewtown. So fabulous place we'll pop in and see Phil Gorman and the great work they've done there as well. And then on Thursday, we're going to wrap the whole expo up with our Wellington Big Business Bash at the Lower Hutt Events Centre, sponsored by the Lower Hutt Events Centre and Riverlink. And we encourage everyone to join us for that great opportunity to all just come together and just be thankful and appreciative of how far we've come through this year, and to help us all start putting this dreadful year behind us and moving forward, really. It's a free event for chamber members, but everyone is welcome. We want to make it free for chamber members, as you know, we've all stuck together, and so we don't go anywhere without our chamber members. So, you know, they're our financial support, and to do our work, we need our members and our partners. So another great week ahead. Encourage you to join us next week at an event. Please register though, because there has to be seats on the bus allocated, and of course pop across to wellingtonbusinessexpo.nz and have a really good look through the stands. Have you entered for any prizes, Rhino?
I thought it'll probably be a bit of a conflict of interest, so no.
There's pretty good prizes though, isn't there?
Oh yeah, I probably can't do that, but yeah, I just want to say on behalf of Nettl and the team as well, thank you so much for the opportunity. It's been absolutely amazing working with you guys as well. I was amazed at how smooth things are happening from your side as well. It's just every single goal as we go along was it was easy and manageable, and yeah, it's having you guys as a client in a way, you know, working together on this as well. It's been an absolute, yeah, it's been amazing, yeah. Easy to work with, and definitely to thank my team as well. It's all the designers and our developers and our absolutely intelligent people in the backdrop that definitely do an amazing job, and so yeah, they have all their eyes on things in the background while I can sit here and talk a lot of stuff.
It's a bit like that here too. So yeah, Raywin and Hannah and Fiona and Amanda have worked really, really hard. So, you know, and so in your team, Winsome's done a great job too. You know, it's just been fabulous. So yeah, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, cool. Okay, have a lovely weekend, and hope to see you all next week online and in person at the Wellington Business Expo. Cheers.
Awesome.